Thanks so much. Hey y'all, Lisa Davis, the trusted banker, and I want to talk about how to make money while Trump is in office. I don't want us to get distracted too much, and I know there's a lot going on, but seriously, when Trump is in office, it's a great time to make money. Now I know the chaos, the drama, the headlines every single day is a lot, but don't get so caught up that you miss all the opportunities. So what do I mean by that? Yep, stocks. The last time Trump was in office, the stock market was highly volatile, but that also meant there were major opportunities to make money. Why? Because Trump and his administration have a very, very vocal presence, and that unfortunately or fortunately, it influences the markets. So let's just talk about it. Let's talk through this and let's get started, right? And before you ask, no, this is not a get rich quick scheme. I always invest. I always dabble in investments, and I'm not like a guru or anything like that. I have my cryptocurrency right now, and I like to dabble in stock, and I'm going to dabble in stock right now. And I thought I'd take you along with me on the journey. We can learn it together. We can do it together. And yeah, let's just think about it. So this is not going to be day trading, and it's not going to be a get rich quick scheme, but it will teach you how to look for stock, how to look for what's going on in the market, how to get more acclimated with it, get more comfortable with buying stocks, and make some money along the way, right? So a lot of people always ask me, how much money should I use to start investing? Now, as the trusted banker, I have to tell you, if you have a savings planner, right, this is a great way to decide, because a lot of people can't figure out what money they should use. The Savings Planner Journal. Now, this is $20, $25. You can go on my website and look it up. And I'm not trying to sell you on anything, but if you do the Savings Challenge for 100 days, you will save $5,050 in here. Now, I know that's a lot of money right now for some people, and they don't have it to set aside. But the thing about this Savings Challenge Planner is when you fill it up, you have $5,050 that are unallocated. So when people ask Trusted Banker, when's a good time to start investing? How much money should I start with? Where should I take the money from? If it takes you 100 days or if it takes you 2 years to fill up this planner, once you fill the planner up, you have $5,000 in here that's not owed to anybody, and you can take whatever you're comfortable with and start using that to invest. And let me see if I have one that's open. I do. So I'll show you what the inside looks like. It's just you track yourself and you track your spending. And this, I didn't mean for this. It's not a commercial. I want to get back to stocks. But for people that might be interested, you put in $1 for one day. You follow the days. It's 100 days. So $1 one day, $2 2 days, $3 3 days, $4 4 days, and you just keep going like that. On the 18th day, you save $18. On the 30th day, you save $30. So when you have this all filled up, you'll have $5,050. So if you have the question, hey, Trusted Banker, where should I take the money from, or how much should I start with, or how do I know that I'm ready to start? If you have some money set aside that you don't need, or you have a savings planner where you have saved your money and it's not allocated, it's not owed to any bill, you don't need it for anything, it's for investment, that's how you know. So that's that for that. If you want it, you can go to thetrustedbanker.com, thetrustedbanker.com, and you can get your savings planner. Now, that's it. I think it's $25. Okay, we're done with that. 25 or 29, sorry. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I started with $500. My goal is to think about making $50 to $100 a day. Well, let's just think $100 a day. So if you can make an extra $100 a day by investing on some stock, that's like $3,000 extra a month. $3,000 extra dollars a month is $36,000 extra a year, $36,000 a year. So that's a nice place to start. Once you get comfortable with investing enough where you can make $100 a day on an investment, you'll start to make that money. So you'll have $3,000 then next month, and you can start making your investments a little bit larger. Now, are you going to make $100 every single day? Maybe not. But it's a good goal. It's a safe goal. So I started with $500. So step one, how do you pick a platform that is comfortable for you, right? So I'm with Charles Schwab, and Charles Schwab is a broker, but I do have some pulled up. And so for me as a banker, as a former banker, I do like to use like companies that I know have a pretty good reputation, pretty decent, been around a long time, right? That's a big thing. If they've been around a long time, that's cool, right? So let me just pull up the list of brokers for you. and then you can figure out, what works best for you. So me, I am with Charles Schwab, like I said, so I'm comfortable using them. But Fidelity is another good one. Let me go to the page. Fidelity is another good one, and then we have, where is the page I'm sharing? There's Vanguard. Now, if you want to use other types of platforms, there are some fintech companies, and if you've been watching me for a while, to make sure you're careful with fintech companies. But Webull and Robinhood are fintech companies, and so those are good ones to use as well. They've been around a while. There's other ones too. Let me see. First Trade I haven't heard of. SoFi I kind of like. Again, Vanguard. Ally Invest is cool. Ally is a bank, so that's just their investment arm, just like JP Morgan Chase has an investment arm. First Trade I've not heard of. So you want to go in and you want to look for ones that make you feel comfortable. Read about them, learn about them, and whatever you feel comfortable with, go with it, right? So the other thing I want to talk about is I have a Roth IRA account, right? So you want to check the fees. You want to always check the fees, especially with fintech companies. Robinhood and Webull, I don't feel like they charge a lot. I really don't feel like they charge a lot. They charge a minimal fee. E-Trade, I put that down because I used to have an E-Trade account. They're a little bit more expensive. They charge like a flat rate of $5 per trade. I feel like that's expensive, especially if we're talking small dollar trades. Like if you're doing things where you're making 20 grand on a trade, $5 or $6 isn't that much. But if you're doing $500 and you're clearing $50 to $100, $5 is a little bit much for each trade. The reason I use Charles Schwab is because they don't charge me. Now, I'm not sure why they don't charge me. I opened up a Roth IRA. I rolled over a 401k years ago, and I've just been with Charles Schwab ever since. So I have a Roth IRA. I trade within my Roth with the monies that I save, and I invest in my Roth with cash money. That's after cash dollars, right? After tax dollars that you can put into your Roth IRA. And then you can either grow it in a mutual fund or whatever, but I can also buy and sell stocks within my Roth IRA. Now, you can check with all these others and see if you should open up a brokerage account or if you can open up a Roth IRA account and find out which one has fees and what the fees are like. I can also open up a brokerage account, which that means I can take money out of my savings or checking and I can send it over to a brokerage account. And that brokerage account will have cash dollars in it that I put in there. That's just like any other checking account. And I can use those dollars to trade. The reason that's important is because you really need your dollars at the trade, at the investment firm that you've chosen, so that when you want to buy stock, the money's already there. Because with Charles Schwab, it takes my money, I think, a couple of days to complete the transfer over from my personal bank account to Charles Schwab because they're not connected. I bank at Comerica, so to send money from Comerica to Charles Schwab might take 24 hours or something like that. So it's always a good idea that that's why I use my Roth IRA account, because the money's there. If I sell my stock within my Roth IRA, it cashes out immediately. I can let it sit there, and then when I'm ready to buy some more stock, I can buy that stock with that cash that I sold and sitting inside my Roth IRA account. Same thing with a brokerage account. So bottom line, check and see which accounts you feel comfortable with, what the fees are. And I really want to suggest making sure you find accounts with no fees or low fees, because if you're a beginner. Again, Charles Schwab doesn't charge me, but I think they don't charge anybody unless you call them to help you make a trade. Okay, so if you call them and you're on the phone with them, and they'll help you talk through it or whatever and help you make a trade. But then there's a fee for talking to a broker over the phone, right? Now, step two, that's your step two. After you set up the right account, put your starting balance in there. Now, for me, it was $500. I started yesterday with $500. I just did this yesterday, and I was like, let me tell everybody. Maybe they might want to do it with me, right? So start with whatever amount of money you want to start with: $50, $25, $500, $1,000, whatever you feel comfortable with. Remember, when you're investing money, you have to be investing money that if you lose, not saying that you will, but if you lose, It won't impact your day-to-day living. You'll still be able to make your bill payments for the month or your mortgage or your rent. Like, you're not spending rent money, right? Okay. So that's that, right? Don't spend money that you got to use to pay somebody off with. Now, number 3, and this is what I feel like is the Trump administration cheat code to make money, right? Where is the biggest budget? So I was, of course, studying this administration and all the movement it had going on. And I started going through the budgets because I was really looking for the White House budget, because I was looking for some of the different the administration budgets, like transportation, Secretary of State, HUD. I was looking for their budgets, right? Department budgets. And the budget hasn't been approved yet, so I couldn't find it. But I did find the Department of Defense budget. So now I know why Hedgeseth was confirmed first. He has the biggest budget in the administration. And typically for all administrations, no matter who the president is, the Department of Defense is the biggest budget, right? So his budget is $850 million, $850 billion. So what did I do? Because he is busy, busy, busy. We have seen him all over the place, right? Pete Hedgeseth. I looked up his budget. I went to the page of the Department of Defense, and I'll show you what it looks like here. So I went to his page. Let's see, Department of Defense. So this is what his page looks like. This is the home page for the Department of Defense. It says United States Department of Defense. So if you go over here to these 3 lines, what I did is I went to news and I scrolled down to contracts. Now you can look up the contracts that the Department of Defense is giving out. So I went to the first, when he first got into office, and the first contract that he initiated, which was the 21st of January, right? So 21st of January, I went there and I looked at the awards. Hospital Housekeeping System, LLC, Dripping Springs, Texas, was awarded $939 million contract for the firm. So you can go to something like that. You can easily highlight this name right here. I'll highlight it and look over here. But this is what I did. I just looked at the contracts, and I know you can't see this because if it's a privately held company, then they won't have a stock. But if it's a publicly traded company, then they have a stock. Okay, they're not a publicly traded company. That's why I wasn't too sure. I never heard of them. But so I look in here and I saw the different entities that had received contracts, right? So 98 million. This one is for Health Facility Solutions Company out of San Antonio, Texas. GM Defense LLC got 14 million. Let me see if GM Defense, that sounds like another private held company, GM Defense, but let's see. If it's public, I'll just pull it up. But let me just look right quick. Stock symbol. Non-publicly traded. Okay. So Lockheed Martin, this one right here is a publicly traded company. Now I want you to look at this one because we're going to go look at this one. So I go in here and I Google it and I put in what is the stock symbol. And it'll tell me, let me go in here and take this out. And it'll tell me the stock symbol. So I simply just do a simple Google search and I'll say Lockheed Martin, I copy paste and I'll say stock symbol and I push enter and it'll give me the stock symbol. Now this one is interesting. So it's LMT. So let's stop sharing that screen and let's go over here and look at this screen because I already have it pulled up because I think they might have been something I was interested in and they have some interesting movement today. So if I would have purchased them yesterday when I was looking, as you can see, so this is what happened today, right? 6 a.m. it comes out at $448. So I could have bought one stock because I had $500 budget. So I could have bought one stock. But if I would have set the limit to say, I'm going to buy this one stock, let's see what it was yesterday. Oh, yesterday it was $445, right? So yesterday I could have bought it for $445. I could have bought it then and I could have said, let me put a stop limit on it when to sell. So if I would have put a stop limit on it to sell the stock today or moving forward for $500, you see here how I had a big ticker at like, I don't know, 430. It went up to $505. Now, this is not something you would just know off the rip. Who knew why it went up? I have to go look at, see if there was any news about it, if there was any announcement. We can always look down here, actually. Did they have an announcement? They settled U.S. allegations of defective pricing. Oh, so they settled a lawsuit. So that's good news. And the stock market closes at 430, I think. So right at 430 is when it jumped. But they settled a U.S. allegation of defective pricing. Let me see if you guys see this. Yes. So they settled a U.S. Allegations of defective pricing at 604. And it said at 616.35, it jumped. So the defense contractor has agreed to pay to settle allegations of defective pricing on contracts for the aircraft justice system. The payment is in addition to $11.3 million the company previously paid. The allegations settled on Thursday were related to the U.S. False Claims Act. Okay. So if I would have set that limit to trade at $500, I would have been able to have a limit set, and it would have, what happens when you set a limit, it automatically sells. So I can go into my brokerage account and I can say, when this stock, if I buy it at 448, when this stock goes to $500, automatically sell. That way I don't have to sit and watch my stock. I put a stop limit on my stock. And so when it reaches a price I'm interested in, it'll sell itself. And so when I go back to my account tomorrow or whatever, I'll have cash in my account. I will have made my money, my profit, because I bought it at 448. I sold it for 500. It went to 505. So I clear $50, right? So then I have my money back in my account and I can buy something the next day. So why am I saying that? So that's just one example, but that's how you go to the contracts, and that's how you find something that you're interested in buying. So remember, we went to the Department of Defense and we looked up the contracts that they have. This is the contract for January 21st, but they have a ton of contracts in here. So for me, I just look at these contracts and then I go look at the different companies. I look up their stock symbol and then I make a decision on what I want to buy. So yesterday, what I bought was, I'll show you. Where are they? Let me share screen. I bought this stock. So yesterday, I bought this stock. And they have had historically, when I researched and I just did a Google search about what companies have had contracts with the Department of Defense through the years. Okay, before I started reading the contracts, I just did a Google search. And they've had contracts with the Department of Defense through the years. And so there was no rhyme or reason. They came up. I saw that they were very volatile yesterday. It was moving and shaking and moving. The ticker was really moving. So I said, let me research this right quick, see what they do, what they look like, how strong do they look. And yesterday I bought in at, let's see, yesterday, what's today? Yesterday I bought in at $100 and I had $500. So yesterday I bought in at $100 and today it moved up to 112. So that means I bought 5 shares. So if I bought 5 shares for $500 and now they're 112 times 5, that equals $560. So I made $60 on that trade. So I can go in now and decide if I want to sell it or if I just want to hold on to it for a little while longer and see what it's going to look like. And when I look at stocks, I look at the all-time highs. So this stock has pretty much, this is the highest it's been. This is an all-time high for it. It started out around $25 6 years ago, 2021, 4 years ago. Now it's at the highest it's been. And then I look at the news. I use Yahoo Finance. I'm a member of Yahoo Finance, so I like Yahoo Finance. This is who I use. And so, because I know how to use their site. So recent news down here, it looks really good, right? They're really hot right now. There's a lot of positive news about them. They just won an advisory services application innovation and technology award. So they just won an award. Business Wire is saying, hey, this company just won an innovation award, tech innovation, great. What do they do? Leading provider of AI systems today announced that it has been recognized as a winner in 9 categories at this technology innovation awards at this place. So that's good, positive news. Positive news means good stock right there, right? So that's positive news. What else is going on with Palantir? I don't even know how to say the name. It just looked like a good stock, right? Jim Cramer. Now, if you know anything about Jim Cramer, he's very influential in this stock and investment in cryptocurrency. I forgot what his online podcast is called, but he has positive news about them. He recently published a list, and I think this was on his list. It's in a fresh appearance on CNBC's Squawk on the Street. Jim Cramer started the show by sharing his thoughts on President Trump's tariffs against Canada and Mexico, blah, 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 blah. And then when did he talk about it? He must have talked about it because it wouldn't have been on here. And I don't know if I could see the whole story because I'm not logged in. Future stocks, Jim Cramer. Okay, so here it is. Number of hedge fund holders in Q3 2024. There were 43. Interesting. So he was saying that the data analytics company is one of Jim Cramer's most commonly discussed stocks. I had no idea. He has praised the firm's CEO, Alex, multiple times this year and believes that this Palantir Technologies' ability to reduce procurement costs could end up allowing it to play a key role in Elon Musk's push to cost cutting at the U.S. Department of Defense. These remarks were made ahead of Palantir Technologies' latest earnings following which the stock soared by 22% the next day. So when did this article come out? So this came out yesterday. This came out on Thursday. So that's, again, more positive news. And the fact that it sounds like they're going to be partnering with Musk. Now, I'm not saying that I like Musk, but he is the one calling all the shots, President Musk. And he's big in technology as well. And if this seems like a good partner for Musk for the Department of Defense, that means it could be a pretty strong company. Will I set my sell limit right now at 115? I don't know. It sounds like it has the ability to rise higher, so I might hold on to it a little bit more, right? What are some other things? This talks about why did the stock pop? There's just been a lot of positive news about it. So the fact that this seems like something that Musk is interested in as well, that sounds good. So this is the one I invested in, so I'll probably hold on to it a little bit longer. And yeah, so that means I'll have to take other monies and invest again. Or I could take my earning, which is the $60, and invest that in something else and just leave $500 invested in the stock. So I can take my $50 or $60 out. That's what I earned. That's my earnings. That's revenues that I earned. I can take that out and invest it in something else, right? And the other thing that I did, just to make sure that I kind of liked what this stock was looking like, is I did do a little AI research, right? And I asked ChatGPT, let's share that screen. What they thought about Palantir. Let's see, is this right here? It's a Google search. Hold on 1 second. Let me share that one for you. So I did an AI review of Planeteer, and I asked, what will it be looking like in 5 years? You can ask about a 5-year strategy. How do you think the stock will perform over the next 5 years? Like, what are your thoughts? And so it gave me a pretty good overview. It said the earnings and review for 2025, analysts predict revenues of 3.71 billion to 3.7 billion, a 31% increase from 2024. That's a positive. 2026 analysts predict revenue growth of over 21% and net income growth of nearly 24%. Again, we're still staying very positive. And in 2027, analysts predict revenue growth of 24% and EPS growth of 23%. So net income could exceed 1 billion for the first time. That's their net income after all costs and profit and losses. So that's excellent. That would be their net income. So these were other things that I think about and I look at and when I'm thinking about buying the stock. So I bought it. And so far it's been a pretty good investment. And again, I just bought it yesterday at $100. So today it's like 112 and we're going to see where it goes. So I just thought it would be interesting to share that with you. But we can start talking about dollar cost averaging, if you want to buy a little every day. You always need an entrance and an exit strategy. I really want to stress that. I will be setting a stop on this stock so that it will sell at a certain price, whether it's 120, 130, 140. I'm not sure yet. I got to think about it. But the fact that I made $60 means I could take my $60 out and invest that in something else and still make more money on the stocks that I have, on the 5 stocks that I have with it right now. A little bit every day. If I do $50 a day, that's still $1,500 a month. So think about it like that. Small steps, baby steps. I'm not out here trying to tell you to do something and make $10,000 a month. I'm just saying that if you've ever thought that you wanted to get invested and get into the stock market, this is a good time to think about it because of the volatility. It will definitely be a time where stocks are going to be moving. We can think about things together. You can add your thoughts into the comment sections about different stocks you're thinking about. We can discuss it and we can see where it goes. I don't want you to use money that you need for bills. I don't want you to use money that you're going to need for any household things that you might need. This will be money that you don't need, that you don't use, that you can invest without worrying about. This is not a get rich quick scheme. I am not an investor. I am just telling you what I'm doing, and I thought it would be kind of cool to do it together and see where it takes us. So yeah, let's try it. Okay, so my name is Lisa Davis. I am the Trusted Banker. Let me know your thoughts, your comments. If you have some questions about how to use AI, how to use ChatGPT to talk about stocks or whatever, or to create a stock strategy for you, let me know, and I'll show you in the next video. And if you had questions about certain stocks or you had any other comments, put them in the comment section. Let's talk about it. Let's go. I think this will be a great time to talk about these things and make a little bit of money on the way. All right. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later. Bye.